I will only say this. Now, you won't know what I'm doing. Because I deleted my Facebook. As I said, I was going to do. When will I get it back? I don't know. There's always been a few things of issue with my thoughts on Facebook. Instagram, of course, once Facebook bought it. Twitter as well. Some degree, YouTube is doing something different that I also am concerned of. However, I think that they're a little bit more open. And it isn't that I'm doing anything dangerous. I'm just doing things that are very uncomfortable. I am pure in thoughts and motives and thinking things out, and there's side noise. Things can't be said, but I do not, have not, nor plan on ever played petty little games. Not ever. And it seems petty games are being played on me. That are things that cannot, have not, and will not be said. Ohio had a train derailment. Poison everywhere. For now, I have learned to see certain things with very much clarity. Even in the last quarter of this year, the last season, have been remarkable. Just when I thought I had plateaued, as I said before, and am working on another video, or have said other places, every quarter since January 2020, every season has been an expansion, height, width, depth, and distance. And then I started describing it as in density. And it continues. We're almost to 2024, and I can safely say we're just about 4 years. Every season, I say, it can't get any more intense than this. And then, therefore, I get shown default. So, now I always know that when I get the $13 million, and I say when, I can't see not getting it, because if a group of people of all the strongest minds get me in a room and we talk, I can prove and validate what it is that I'm working on. This 16,000 hours into the good ship. You don't know what I'm talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about. That's fine. I'm not here to sell that. I know what I'm doing. I am unusual as they could possibly be. I have always been an unusual person. Always. I've said I want to end homelessness throughout the world. I call it the Homeless to Permanent Housing Initiative. Contractual living. They never have to leave. There till they die. It's easily obtainable. In that is communes and all this, all these things that I talk about. Again, you can go to my other social media site and see that. Managing that many homeless people and creating communes and not wanting it managed like a business and needing a spiritual side, something to create community and amongst other communes. Between the church that I've created, that is a medium church, the in between whatever their belief system is and the God or gods, or however you define, it's simply a medium church, the medium between. But as a congregate place for communes, and they manage seasonal and winter and fall festivals and Christmas and holiday, where they intermingle with other communes. They are the backbone of all of it. A church is where we're leading to this. And in this medium church, which would then be open to the public, because why wouldn't you? And I'm working on how this church functions. I have a huge background in religion and a priesthood holder, and so there's a lot of things going on in at play. Again, remind you, I've been working on this gift for humanity, every rainbow, under every bridge, throughout the whole world, no respective of class, wealth, anything. 1%, none of those things matter. It's every single person. To give my gift to all of you, to humanity. So the same goes into how do you create a medium church that is for everyone? What are some pillars of that? What are some cornerstones and, things like that? A capstone. A capstone basically could be said controlling your own life, keeping your own doorway swept off. I've said this. But one thing I have learned in my life is, as someone who has been working on this purest project you could possibly think of, with the most purest motives you could. That's the fact. Purest motives. There's been a couple of times when I thought that route was going to be derailed. That train derailment. Both of those times come out of someone's hate for me, based on just whatever, my presence, my freedom of expression, my just need to be me. 2 times that derailment came because they brought hatred in my heart. Pure hatred. The kind of intense hatred that, well, in all elements of it, is dangerous. Hate is dangerous. And flooding my mind right now is all the wars and stuff going on in the world and a lot of things in history. To hate someone so much because you don't agree with, or however you've decided to define that. If your hate causes someone else's train derailment, that is going to be a very unfavorable thing for you in the eye of God. There is no question. What I'm not quick to say, I have a scripture about that story, but I'm here to tell you that if you are causing that kind of hatred, so much that you derail someone else's train, you will be judged most harshly. And that clarity come out this year, at a time when I'm deep in thought about pillars of a church and teaching people how to create happiness and their control of their own home, because you shouldn't be going to church and be riled up in hate of another on your Sunday service or Saturday service or wherever, however you're being your spiritual needs are being fed. I have been on this road for 33 years understanding this whole process. There have been some things of clarity that have been coming in the last couple of years that are a little shocking to me. Quite frankly, a little shocking. I am so glad that I didn't let anything around me tell me, you need to get that autobiography done, because it was worth the wait. Absolutely. Because the value that I have in this book that I'm working on, these series, however that many it turns out, I'm kind of thinking book 3 is going to be, when the third book comes out, it's going to come out in 2 books. They're going to come out together. It might even be in one binding, and then it's going to be very distinctly separated. It's kind of where I'm leaning at now. There's a few things working on, but I'm not going to get into all that. It's not important right now. There are some things that are structurally changing the whole book series right now, and I'm reconfiguring that and not putting too much pressure on getting that solidified, because I know that I'm understanding some things that I have to see the outcome of it first before I make a decision final. I am trying to write a book again for everyone. And my gift. And how do you get everyone to read it? At least when I say everyone to read it, all these variances of mankind, if we can get them into some sort of demographic grouping, if I can get somebody from every one of those groups to read, just one person, then I've achieved my goal. Years ago used to say, I'm going to make this world famous. Meanings I was going to connect and get to know one person from every country in the world that when I walked down the street, I knew who they were. One person from every country. And my book was going to go into one person's hand in every country in the world. World famous. A couple hundred countries. 200 people. That's nothing. It was marketing gimmicky a bit. However, because of the focus of everything I'm doing for the world, it's not gimmicky. It's a very perfect thing to do with what I'm doing. The world is much more diverse than that. And there's some very scary things going on, and in a lot of different places, and a lot of your lives. I am not bringing forth any sort of information that isn't out there, for the most part. What I'm telling you is that this information has never been laid out together like I'm going to do it. And we, as a species of mankind, wherever colonialism has touched ground, has been affected in such a way that anything that is out of the ordinary is rejected. And there's going to be so many levels. And I keep uncovering these little narcissistic things that the early church did. Early religions did. And you all ain't ready. But you better get ready. Finishing this video, Facebook's gone. You're not going to know what I'm doing. And to the right people, that's exactly what I want you to know. You don't know what I'm doing. See, I don't play petty games. I do the most. Ask yourself, did you and your hate create so much to derail my train? Are you on the Rolodex of people who have offended me so greatly that I think about what you've done every single day since the day you did it? Are you somebody who said to me, what are you going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? I don't know. What do you think should be done? What do you think is fair? I'm going to end with the fourth book is very different. Very different. It's not a life story. All fictional events, fictional people, all of it. But you're going to know who's who and what. You're going to know what's going on. Only if you've read the first 3. Dollface. And so there's more to this than books. So much more. Separate than anything else. For the next couple of years, I'm going to be changing my social circling, the way I approach life. Because now is when I begin what I started in the 90 days off grid I took in the fall of 2019. Right after that ended, slid right into a pandemic that, well, quite frankly, changed it for all of us. And brought me to TikTok and the wealth of information that I've gotten from there, and everyone who's also been on there, we can't compare it. There's a lot of good stuff on there. It reminded me of how willing people are to help and to teach and give their expertise out freely. A lot of people who don't know give it out freely too, but you have to know who and what sources to listen to. There's things, like I said, going on in the background. There might be somebody watching this video because, well, they're desperate for answers. You know who you are. I know who you are too. You messed up. You messed up. Ooh. You messed up good. There is nothing you can do until it's done. I can disappear off the face of this earth, and you can't undo it. You can't even undo it. I used to say this has never been done on the face of this earth. But now that I understand some things better, something similar has been done before on this earth. Just not in the way I'm doing it with modern technologies. And that will last forever. You'll know sometime. And I can tell you it will haunt you all your days.